Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. Today I'm gonna tell you why it's good to be me. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I'll be cutting weight with prolonged and intermittent fasting after finishing my bulk in about a month or so. So yes, cutting off that fat that I've gained with, hopefully I've gained some muscle. I put out a video earlier this week about my approach to bulking, giga bulking, that I actually put on a bit more fat than I think I'd need to in order to build muscle. But cutting off that fat is the easiest thing ever for me. And I know it can kind of sound like I'm bragging or something when I'm saying that, because of course a lot of people struggle with losing weight. Some of you watching probably, it's like something you have to try and do. I've gained weight that I didn't want to, and now I have to lose it. I have to go on a diet or something like that. And that's not what it's like for me at all. For me, it's literally just like, okay, when I'm done with a bulk, it's time to cut weight. And then I just do that. And I don't mean even in like a grit way, like, yeah, I just put in the work. My goals are prioritized. I just struggle. It's not, not a nice voice to make, but it's not like that at all. It's literally, I'm like, effortless is wrong, because some other things, training and all that, it takes effort, of course. But I mean, it's not something I have to try and do. I just do it. But it wasn't always this way. And so in this video, I kind of want to talk about how that happened. So first of all, I want to say that, of course we have like genetically some different tendencies. Like some people will easier put on weight, and some people will easier like stay lean and too skinny. I have a hard time building muscle even. And that's not something that's set in stone, by the way. You can change that, but you can have kind of predisposition, a tendency towards either. And I want to say that I've never been kind of any of them. All right, earlier in my life, like I never had a really good lifestyle in terms of diet and exercise and sleep earlier. I mean, I did some training in my teens, but I never had really good habits. And so at one point, for instance, when I was playing online poker for a living, one of the best things I did in my former life was be learning how to make money off of poker. But apart from that, everything around that was not a good lifestyle. Like I was up all night, I slept all day. And I realized, thinking about it, that I probably ate like one meal a day sometimes, but I just didn't think of it that way. I just didn't think too much about eating. And I just lazily went down and bought a hamburger and fries on this kiosk here. So shit food. But if it's all you eat, it's not a lot. So I was kind of skinny back then. I wish I had like photos from that time, and I don't think I have, at least not without a shirt or something, so you can properly see it. But yeah, I've had other times in my life when I ate more and junk food, and I drank a lot, mainly, and drank a lot of beer, went out drinking beer, and I was fat, like never huge, super fat, but skinny fat, definitely more fat than you should have. So I'm telling you this just so you understand that it's not that, I just have this predisposition to just have a high metabolism, but I can be both. But so when I got into this healthier lifestyle, I was skinny fat when I started. And again, food was never my biggest vice, but I was just generally decadent and like whatever, like pleasure and nice dopamine kick I got. So I had a bunch of junk food, but it was not my biggest thing. But trying to eat healthier, and especially not eat too much, that was difficult for me at the start too. I had cravings. I failed at some points, but it was when I came upon the fasting, both kinds of like intermittent and prolonged, but it was the prolonged fasting that really changed this. Because again, even if you aren't a huge eating addict, like most of us, we are used to eating every day and multiple times per day. So when you you don't do that, you try to not eat for a few days. That's of course a challenge because we are habitual creatures. The body will like spike hunger hormones at times when you would usually eat, for instance, because it's gotten used to that. So it was of course not easy for me at the start. I failed some fasts that I did and stuff, but I was so interested in the fasting. I thought it was so fascinating. I wanted to try so many things that I ended up just doing a lot of fasting and eating good food in between. And what kind of just ended up happening is I realized how even people that aren't like, super overweight and eat a bunch of junk food, but how we are all, because of how society is these days, we are all addicted to eating. Because now, after having done so much fasting and then intermittent fasting, I've tried so many things. I've done one meal a day. I usually, like my baseline, bulking or not bulking, is eating like 3 times per day in an 8-hour eating window, basically. But when I've done so much fasting, both kinds of fasting, I realized that first of all, you're not supposed to get hungry so easy, so easily. Like I feel like how should I phrase it? Like the hunger feelings that people feel are like greatly enhanced due to our lifestyle, that people think they need to eat more than they actually do, so they feel a stronger sensation from it. But also the other thing is that when you are hungry, actually are hungry, it's not supposed to be that big of a deal. Like you're both not supposed to be, and hunger and appetite is other things, by the way. Like being able to eat and enjoy the food, having appetite, it's another thing. Being just super hungry, need to eat like that. And yeah, what I noticed is like I basically, whether I'm cutting or bulking, I don't really get really hungry. It's like before my first meal that I have at 11 a.m. most days, I can feel something in my stomach, like it feels a little empty. But if I for some reason couldn't eat or anything, it wouldn't be a big. It would just be okay. I have to do it later then. And yeah, it's not supposed to be such a strong feeling, is what I'm saying. Like the most cravings and hungriest I've been in years now was when I did my most recent dry fast. It was like almost half a year ago now, this fall. But then I of course didn't even drink water, and I also used a sauna, and then I got all kinds of weird cravings. I remember when I was shopping for breakfast food, when I was in the grocery store, I saw all these foods, like fermented foods in liquid, and olives in oil, I guess. And for some reason I felt like drinking all these liquids that foods were stored in. But you see, that's what it took for me to get really strong cravings. And look, I'm a big guy, I'm just not some little scrawny dude. So this is how I know that it's not supposed to be like this, so strong with the hunger and stuff. So yeah, now I guess I talked for a bit, but to talk about how I'll be cutting, the thing about that, because I do this video because some people ask me, do you have any plans for how you'll cut after your bulk? And to be honest, I don't have to have such a big plan. That's the good thing about being me again. That's what I mean. What I will do is I will start with a 72-hour fast, because I basically always do that when I cut. Might even do a dry fast. I haven't fully decided yet, but we'll see. But I'll do that, and then I have no plan after that. I'll just stop eating so much. I mean, I cut down the calories. I'll probably eat 2 meals per day instead of 3, like I'm doing. But it's not set in stone. It will depend on the day, how I feel and how much I moved around and stuff like that. But it'll start to be nicer and warmer outside, so I'll go on more walks. I have on this bulk actually done the exact opposite, tried to walk less to make it easier to put on weight. It's so funny to do all the reverse weight loss stuff. It's been when I coach people and get in the steps, and I do the complete opposite myself to try to gain weight. But what I'll do, I'll observe the scale weight as I do my intermittent fasting, like 2-3 meals per day. And it will probably drop from activity, and I'll throw in a fast here and there. I've talked about my favorite fasting routine for everyone being the weekly 48 to 72-hour fast, but that's when you do it more like structured. At this point, I don't have to have a structure, because I can just choose, like, you know what, it's time for another fast. Yeah, it will work out good with what I have planned for the days to come, so I'll just do that. And I'm just gonna do that, watching the scale, and until I'm happy, which I weigh around 90 kilos now, which is insane. I've never weighed that much without being fat, like I'm not ripped anymore, but I'm not fat. Still have some fluffy abs. But I think I'll be probably happy between 82 and 84 kilos. But you see, the only thing I really have planned is I'll do my initial fast, and then cut down on the calories, cut down on 1 meal per day. Sometimes, I'll probably not eat just 1 meal a day, but cut down from 3 to 2 meals. and some days, and the occasional fast that's like 48 to 72 hours. And this is what I mean. It's so good, it's so nice to not be able to, oh, I have to stick to this deficit now, I have to lose weight. Oh, it's just something I do. And this is again, I'll end on this point. This is again why I think everyone should be into bodybuilding and that kind of thing. That kind of thing, but working on yourself like that, because you have then a higher goal that's like prioritized over. And that's what, let's say this, like even when it was, before I started doing fasting and had this like, what I would consider normal relationship to food and hunger, it's just that most people don't have that at all. But before that, because I had my higher goal of body, like I really, I built this muscle now, and now I want to cut down and I want to see what it looks like. That's when it was tough. I had this higher goal in mind, and also just learning about how your body responds to the training and food and stuff. Like, it's fun. You learn a lot about your body, but you also get this prioritized goal that even before you reach this point that I hope you will be able to reach, that I have, you'll have that higher goal. That will help you get there. And I feel like for a natural bodybuilder that's like recreational, of course it's part of my profession because I am a coach, fitness influencer, but it's kind of an alternative thing with a fasting. But I feel like my way of doing things is superior. Like food is the easiest thing ever to handle. If anything, it's eating all the fucking food on the bulk that's difficult. And cutting weight is just like, okay, we we change the switch from bulking to cutting. Now we do that. And of course, all the health benefits you get from fasting, and I just enjoy fasting a lot. That's another thing, The more I said end on this point, but so many things come up now. But also when you start to not see fasting just as a means of losing weight, I told you in my giga bulking video that it's kind of opposite. I bulk as a means of being able to fast because I enjoy fasting, the effect it has on my body and mind, that will also make it easier. But yeah, I think I'll end this video here. Please ask questions if you have any. I kind of talked about many different things now, but yeah, leave your comment and like. All comments and likes help support the channel. You can put algorithm in comment if you just want to help me, but don't have anything special to say. It helps, so please do that. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, uncommon sense takes on a whole bunch of things. Okay guys, I'll see you later. Peace.